You've gained muscle and now you've lost enough weight for your muscle to be seen. And that in itself will just transform you like completely. It'll transform your face, transform your body, transform your hormones, your energy, how people talk about you, how people think about you, how you feel about yourself. And the most important thing is forget everything else. Say you just live alone and you've done that. Your self-worth has just gone through the roof because you've gone through a crazy transformation that many people don't even have enough patience, don't have the knowledge, don't have the time and effort and the dedication to go through. And you've done that. When going through a fat loss journey, when going through a fitness journey, when going through any self-improvement journey, you must lift weights. There's no question about lifting weights after losing X amount of weight, because I know a lot of brown guys that do that. And when they do that, they fall into this purgatory where it's like they get to a certain weight, they've hit the goal weight, and they're like, you know what, I want to lose a few more kilograms. And by that time, because they've lost weight in the wrong way without lifting the weights, they have this skinny fat body, this like dinner lady kind of body. And because they're doing loads and loads of cardio, that's the way they've lost the weight. Their hormones are all messed up, like their hairline's receded, the skin does not look good. Even just by looking at them, they've lost weight, but they do not look healthy whatsoever. And it's not really healthy. And the thing is, you will not have an aesthetic body. So just think of fat like this. If you're someone who's got like 10, 15, 20 pounds of fat, you've got an extra stone on your frame. You've got a jacket of fat on your body, right? And when you eventually lose the weight, you lose the jacket that you've got on right now. You will have the same skinny fat body that you've got at the moment. People think because they've lost the weight by running, by walking loads, by doing such and such a thing, basically anything without doing any kind of weights, they're under this impression that they've got this sculpted body underneath waiting to be revealed, which is absolutely untrue, and they've wasted so many months of their time, so much time and energy, if that's what they think. So if you're like, what do I do then? I was thinking that I'm going to lose the weight. I'm going to focus all my energy into running, into walking, into doing hiking, into doing rowing machine, into doing sprinting, whatever, right? What should I do? The key is to basically lift weights alongside doing doing cardio. Because say you do lift weights and you do get rid of that coat of fat, which I mentioned before, then you will definitely have some kind of muscle which is waiting to be revealed. And also, it's a lot more better for your hormones. It's a lot better for how you feel, how you look, your self-confidence. Because say you do lose the weight and you have a lot of muscle waiting to be seen, and like you've gained a lot of muscle, you could gain a fair amount of muscle because you've been training the aesthetic muscles, which we're going to get onto in a second. Then the amount of confidence you have, the amount of self-esteem, amount of like pride you have in yourself as well, like you've gone through a recomposition, because that's literally what you've done. You've lost a lot of weight, you've gained muscle, and now you've lost enough weight for your muscle to be seen. And that in itself will just transform you like completely. It'll transform your face, transform your body, transform your hormones, your energy, how people talk about you, how people think about you, how you feel about yourself. And the most important thing is forget everything else. Say you just live alone and you've done that. Your self-worth has just gone through the roof because you've gone through a crazy transformation that many people don't even have enough patience, don't have the knowledge, don't have the time and effort and the dedication to go through. And you've done that. So the reason you must lift weights when losing weight is to gain muscle. Is to go through recomposition. So how do I lift muscle? How do I lift weights, Ismail? What do I do? Give me a routine. The things you want to focus on and the body parts you want to focus on is the aesthetic muscles. Now there's loads of different routines out there. I've tried so many routines. I've tried the bro split, where you train one muscle every single day. So you do let's just say, for example, you start on Monday. On Monday you start with chest. On Tuesday you do back. Wednesday you do legs. Wednesday you do shoulders. Thursday or Friday, or I don't know if I'm going in the right order, but then one of the days you do arms, right? And then you have a couple of days off and then you restart. I've done that. I've done push-pull legs. I've done 5x5 splits. I've done all kinds of different routines. So the best thing and the thing which will give you the highest return on your investment, and this is something I did in 2021, where I lost about 22 point something pounds of weight, and I put on a lot of muscle, right? I fixed my health as well. had a lot of gut issues, a lot of skin issues. So I fixed all of these, and the routine I used, just strictly the routine I used, was I focused on the aesthetic muscles. Now you might be thinking, what are the aesthetic muscles, Ismail? The aesthetic muscles are the upper chest, the neck and the traps, the side delts, the upper lats, the abs, but that's a bit of a body fat percentage thing, and your biceps. Although I've given you like 4 or 5 different however many body parts, you don't want to neglect anything else. Because I said biceps, you don't want to neglect your triceps. Because I said side delts, don't neglect your front delts and your rear delts. Now, how do I train these muscles, and how do I go about training them? For your upper chest, I'll just tell you the exercises you can do for each muscle part, for each body part, sorry. So for your upper chest, you want to do any kind of incline pressing movements. For your side delts, you want to do some kind of lateral raises. For your neck and your traps, you can either do shrugs or you can do neck curls. For your upper lats, for that big V taper, you can either do pull-ups if you have the capability of doing pull-ups, or what you can do is you can either do lat pull-downs, heavy lat pull-downs, or you can do the assisted pull-up machine. Now, the assisted pull-up machine is very, very underrated, I think, because it allows you to control yourself fully on the way down. Like, you can really stretch your lats out, and then on the way up you can fully explode up. And I feel like I get a better mind muscle connection, and I just get a big deep stretch in my lats. For biceps, there's so many bicep exercises out there. Just pick like 1 or 2 or 3. Focus on your brachialis, which is something which you focus on when you do hammer curls for that wide bicep. The abs are a body fat percentage thing. They won't really be revealed until around 12% body fat, maybe slightly higher if you've got really thick and strong abs. But for your abs to be visible, for everything else as well to be visible, and for you to look the most aesthetic and lean as possible, you want to aim for around 12% body fat. 12% body fat. The weight, you can go off weight, that is fair, but sometimes the weight can fluctuate. Sometimes the weight doesn't really tell you how much body fat percentage you have. Like, you'll see skinny guys, and say they stepped on the scale might be like 60 kilograms, 50 kilograms, whatever it might be, right? But if you get them on a body fat percentage thing, they'll be fat. They'll be, because they've got a lot of fat on their body. That's why they've got the term skinny fat bodies. When it comes to losing weight, it's like I wouldn't say 50-50. I'd say it's 80% diet and 20% exercise. And cardio can be very important. Because if you're someone who's always border, like you're on the maintenance amount of calories, you're getting in the right amount of protein, but you just doing 30 minutes of incline walking on a treadmill makes you lose weight, then that is you're at a very, very good point. You're at a very good point in your weight loss journey, because you know exactly how much you need to eat and how much you need to work out and how many minutes of cardio specifically for you to lose weight. So say, for example, you've gone through a bit of a plateau, like your weight loss has leveled off, and you know what, I'm gonna, instead of doing 30 minutes of walking, I'm gonna do 15 minutes of running, and on one of the days I'll do sprinting. Then that's it. Your fat loss is basically restarts and starts again. You start losing weight for a couple of more weeks, for a month, or whatever it is that you need to do. So cardio is very, very important. Try and figure out how much cardio you need to do to lose weight. For most people, and what most people, when I recommend, this is more so after they lose weight, but try and do some kind of cardio every single day. And what I recommend is zone 2 cardio, where, like, an example of zone 2 cardio is incline walking, like rock climbing, something which is quite low intensity, but it's repeatable every single day. Like for me, I've got a walking pad over there, and I'll basically do my zone 2 cardio on there. I can literally put it underneath my desk and do whatever I need to do, and I'll be getting in my steps. So when attempting to lose weight, you must lift weights. If you don't lift weights, you will 100% have that dinner lady physique. Now, if you're someone who's got that skinny fat body, that brown guy physique, with the little man boobs, skinny arms, and that pot belly, and you don't know what to do, then consider joining my free Skool community. The link will be in the description below. It will be very, very helpful. I assure you. Like, you can literally join my Skool community, put in a message in my Skool community, whatever problem you're having, and I will reply to you as soon as possible. And of course, that's that's the obvious thing that you get, the value that you get. But something which you don't underestimate, which you don't really know and are aware of, is that for you to go searching for that answer would take you like a few months of trial and error at least. So I can save you so much time. So just consider joining my free Skool community. The link will be in the description below, the first one. Click on that. Thank you.